Today we're going to talk about selecting colors for my 33 Hot Rod. Hi everybody and welcome to the channel about building a kit car and other car topics. If you like what you see, please hit the subscribe and notification buttons below. So picking colors has been very difficult for me, and it's been a long process. For months I've been stewing over different things, but I'm a visual person and I need to see it. So if I can't see it, and I'm not talking about swatches, I need to see it like on the car, see what it looks like. And it's been interesting because I've found colors that I like on certain cars, but they don't work on other cars because the outline's different. And I'm going to kind of take you through some of the stuff that I've gone through and show you some of the designs I've done with a graphic designer, and then kind of tell you what I finally picked through my research of going down to paint stores and kind of taking everything that I figured out and kind of mulching it all together. So let's see here. So obviously this is what I'm building here, except I'm not doing red. But it has the bike fenders, it has the coupe. I like how the rear fenders are done, and it just so happens to have my wheels on it, which is really cool. So this is pretty much what the car looks like. And originally I was going to do a Tangelo Pearl Orange in a flat, like a flat satin. And that's what this is. This was done with like 5 or 6 coats of clear, and then the last clear coat, they put a flattener in it and put it on here, and it's just really, really cool, really bitchin' looking. However, over the last 6 months of like thinking about different colors and looking how flats hold up and how crazy it is to upkeep, and I just saw a car recently where he did a great job of having the gloss and the flat and everything was awesome, but you could see the splatter on the flat from whatever product he was spraying on the car, and it destroyed the flat. And I just don't want this to be so temperamental that I can't enjoy the car because it's, oh, I can't touch it, it's show car only. And and I got a chance to talk to one of the head designers over at Chrysler once. It was just kind of this weird thing where I ran into him at a little seminar of like 10 people, and I was talking to him about these options, and he was like, well, whatever you do, put the flat in areas that you're not going to be touching all the time, because if you're put it by the door handle and you're always touching the car, it's going to get like it's going to have kind of a grease look, where the oils from your skin get onto that flat paint and kind of ruins it. So that was a brilliant suggestion, but I'm just going to ward that off and not do that at all. So anyways, this picture is in my badass folder, and wanted to show you just different things that I've been looking at. Not really into the red, even though I like all the Lamborghinis. I love this. Now I know this is Justin Bieber's, I don't think he owns it anymore, but this was his Ferrari. And this is actually a wrap. And a wrap I was kind of down with because you could always throw it out and redo it. But when I found out how much it cost to wrap a car, I was like, nah, I'm not paying $3 grand for a wrap and throwing it out when, I could paint the car for $3 or $4 grand. So, but I do like that look. That's pretty cool. In fact, I got to see that car in person. That was really nice. I love that the frame is painted on this car. I just think that's awesome. However, my car is going to have full engine, it's going to be a compartment with a hood, sides. So, the top will be popped open at a show or something like that so you can see in. But for the most part, I'm just going to stick with the satin black at this point. I could spray that and make that bling, but I don't think it's worth it at this point, just because I'm always going to have the sides covering all this up. So I took this shot because this dark gray looks really cool. Little offset from these bars, and I believe these are gloss, the frame. Of course, the flat, that looks amazing. Nice paint job, but that's actually cooler. I like a little bit of the lighter look A little too deep. I always love orange. Obviously, I was going to go with Tangelo Pearl. Orange is great. And then, you know, whether I'm going to do flames or not, I'm not a big flame fan unless it's really done right. And these flames are close. They're not 100% the way I would do it, but they're close. In fact, I think the original Factory 5 advertisement car that they did with the yellow to black with the flames, that one's actually done really well. Here's another one with the frame painted the same color as the car. I think that's cool. And I love the orange of the Lotus. That's actually a really nice color. And I was also looking at two-tones. So why do I bring this all up? Well, what I did in the past was I had my graphic artist take a car and then just start throwing colors on it. And I would give him the colors that I'm thinking about, and he would throw it on there, and we'd start doing some pairings. And I was kind of pushing for a two-tone. It'd be kind of cool. So, you know, this is, you know, there's no rear fenders on this, and these fenders are cut really straight, which I don't like. But we were trying different things from not only the two-tone colors, but what color is the grille going to be? Is it going to be, you know, silver? Is it going to be blacked out? You know, trying all these different ideas. And so, like, there's the difference between silver and black on the front. You know, what if the fenders are black also? What if they're painted? Here's pinstripes or racing stripes. It's just different unique colors. And I don't remember which one it was, but I was like, that's it. That's the one I'm doing. You know, something like close to this. I was like, that's awesome. Those flames are done pretty well, but the blue's way over the top. And then there's kind of close to the Tangelo, a little bit lighter. And so I fell in love with one of these designs. And then like a month later, I was like, what was I thinking? That's awful. It's like a banana boat. You know, it's horrible. So I saw at a show the new LC500 Lexus, which is this beautiful cream pearlized yellow. And I love this. And it looks great on this car. I'd buy that car just like that. And I started looking for this color in all the paint books. And it didn't exist. And if I did find it, it didn't look the same. It looked a lot deeper. It looked almost like there was a lot more orange in it, or gold, which I don't really like the gold compared to what I'm seeing here. It was kind of difficult to find. In fact, what was really interesting is out of all the colors that I was looking at in these like catalog books, literally, you know, 20 years of all these different manufacturers from Ferrari to Kia, didn't matter. There was only like 6 actual yellows in the whole freaking book. There's not many yellows that exist at all. And when I say 6, like, I'm not exaggerating. There was 6. I counted them. There was only 6 in these books. And so I thought that was kind of bizarre, which of course makes me want to do yellow even more because it's so rare. But I didn't want to custom make something because I'm not there yet. Like, I'd rather, you know, buy something off the shelf that I know looks good and not customize it because that's just not my specialty. So we started looking and trying out, you know, what is yellow going to look like on the car? Well, that's a little over the top, like if it's all yellow. So what else could we pair with it? So my graphic artist is like, what if we did blue on yellow? And, you know, I didn't really think I thought that would be over the top, almost too crazy. So what I ended up doing was, there's a Power Nation TV show I like watching, and there's this Protronic blue which came up that they used on a truck, and I thought the blue just looked amazing. And so that's what this looks like right here. Now, this is actually from a i8 BMW, and that car looks amazing. You could see that it's kind of like the Lamborghini, but it's a little bit lighter color. The pearls really hit really nice. And it's just really beautiful color. So I was like, okay, well, if we have the light cream yellow going with the lighter blue, and then I have the gray wheels, it might work out pretty well. So as I gone through this, I started going through the swatch books, and I was looking at different blues, different yellows. Well, here's the actual yellow from that Lexus. And it just doesn't sit the way I want it to sit. I don't know. It's just really difficult. Here's the yellow against the gray of my wheels, which I was able to perfectly match. Here's just shifting the camera so the light hits it a little different. Here's the gray against the blue. There's the car. There's yellow superimposed with the blue. I didn't like that at all. This just looks horrible. You can see how much deeper this shot of this yellow looks. So anyways, I created this whole montage, and I was going to send this montage to like family, friends, and say, hey, what do you think? You know, I'm down to these 3 colors. What do you think? And it took me like an hour to put this all together. And at the end of that hour, before I even sent this off, I already knew what I wanted. And that ended up being this pair right here. The Protronic blue with the gray from the wheels. And, you know, this would work, don't get me wrong, but it's a little canary-ish, and I didn't want to go that route. But this, I knew I could sit there all day long and be happy with it. Now, as an example, what this might actually look like, and I'm not saying this is Protronic blue because it's not, but this gives you an idea of what this vehicle might actually look like with the blue against the gray of the wheels, and this is something I could live with. Like, it's a no-brainer. I would love to push the limits and go somewhere else, but like, I'll be happy with this. This is freaking awesome. So even though this is not the exact blue or whatever, but it gives you an idea of what area I'm pushing towards. I want it to be mean looking, and I want it to, you know, I don't want to sit there a month later after I put this thing together and go, man, what was I thinking with these colors? That's awful. So what I ended up doing is going with PPG. Now, I wanted to use PPG products because I know they're the best. But I also knew that if I was going to spend the time learning and you know, doing everything right, last thing I want to do is learn on some cheap paint that lays differently. And it's not really that it's cheap, it's that it lays differently. So you learn on one thing and then you switch the formula to something else, and then you don't know what you're doing, you got to relearn it. So I figured, you know what? I'm trying to make this the best that it could be, and I might as well just use the best stuff. And so that's why I ended up going with PPG. In the near future, when I solidify painting all the parts, I'll actually do another video where I actually show you what products I used, what hardeners, catalysts, reducers, and you know, kind of break it down a little bit of what I actually ended up using, because I will say the amount of research that went into all this, I mean, if you have a friend that does this and they could just point you in the right direction, yeah, that's super easy. But if you don't, then I'm going to become your friend. I'm going to show you, you know, what you could use, what goes together, what actually works, the pitfalls and different things like that. So not sure exactly when I'll do that, but after I've gone through the process a little bit, I'll actually do that, and then you know, put a link in the description so you could actually go buy those products if you want. So that's it for today. Till next time, have a great day, and hit the subscribe and notification buttons if you like, and there's going to be some great videos coming up.